Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Bhaktivedānta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Bhaktivedānta Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Bhagavat Śrīla Gokṣaras Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadasha Raghunath Shāra Gosvāmī Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन की जय. सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाता गिरिराज महाराज की जय. श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय. श्री मोन देवी गंगा देवी की जय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाय की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री नवदीप धाम महात्मा की जय. श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जय. श्री नवदीप धाम की जय. श्री नवदीप धाम परिक्रमा की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. श्रीमान नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय. श्री जीव गोस्वामी पार की जय. सा पाशाद श्री गौर हरि की जय. हरि बोल. गंगा दीदी धन्यवाद प्रणाम. गागराज जी किशोर प्रभु हरि बोल. So yesterday we read Nityananda Prabhu took Jiva Goswami to, or is it Samantadweep and Godrumadweep? And now today, where is he going to take us? Let me just see. Actually, so yesterday, I'm just going to give a little more time for more people to come also. Just looking at the topics here. Yesterday we read about Suvarna Vihar, then Nrsimhapali, Shri Harihar, Gadi Gachagram, Shri Godrumadweep, and the place of bhajan of Indra and Mother Surabhi. And then the story of Markandeya Rishi's coincidental arrival in Godrumadweep. And today we're going to be reading about Madhyadweep, Shri Kumarhatta, Naimi Sharanya, Brahma Shri, and then in chapter 10 we'll read about Shri Brahman Pushkar, Shri Uchahatta, which is Kurukshetra and Navadvip, and then the sequence of Shri Navadvip Parikrama, and the description of Navaratra in the scriptures. All right. So Madhyadweep, today's Madhyadweep. All right, looks like there are more people here. Dandavat pranams Madhavi Didi. I'm gonna share my screen again. Oh, and Rup Manjari Didi, she will be leading us later, so Dandavat pranams to her in the future. Okay. I mean, she'll be watching later. Okay, chapter 9, Mangalacharan, Auspicious Invocation. Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Gadadhara, Shiva Sadi Jaya, Jaya Bhaktalai, Navadvīpa-dhāma-māhātmya. All glories to Shri Gaurachandra. All glories to Shri Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Shri Gadadhar Pandit. All glories to Srivas Pandit and the other devotees. All glories to the residents all glories to the residents of the devotees. The topmost Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, the crest jewel of givers of prema. Nishi avasane matta gora gane chalile nane tananda sange bhakta gan premite magan vistariya parananda. The next morning, Sriman Nityananda Prabhu proceeded onwards, intoxicated by singing Shri Gaura's names. The devotees walking with him were also drowning in prema and were thus distributing supreme bliss. Shri Madhyadvip. Madhyadvipe asi bole hasi hasi eto majida grama heta sapta rishi bhaji gora shasi korilena subhishrama. When they arrived in Madhyadvip, Sriman Nityananda Prabhu smiled and said, "This is the village of Majida. Here the 7 sages Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulaha, Kratu, Pulastya and Vashishta happily rested and worshipped Shri Gaurachandra." The 7 sages hear the glories of Shri Gaurahari from their father Shri Brahma. Pitri sannidhane Gaura guna gane Satjuge rishi gana Hoya magana jachilo tokon Gaura premane tadhana. In Satyayug, those sages heard Shri Gaurahari's glories from their father Brahma. Hearing about Shri Gaura's glories, they became enchanted and begged Brahma to give them the eternal treasure of Gaur Prem. Shri Brahma inspires his 7 sons to go to Śrī Navadvīpa. Brahma chaturmukha peye boro sukha sapta putre bole tabe Navadvipe jao Gaura guna gao anayase prema habe. Headed Shri Brahma became pleased by hearing their appeal and said, "All of you go to Navadvīpa-dhāma and sing the glories of Shri Gaurahari. You will easily attain prema." Shri Brahma describes the glories of the Dhama kripa sar labh hoy jar tar hoy sadhu sanga Sadhu sange bhaje Krishna prema preme maje eto paramaranga. One who has gained the mercy of the Dham will attain the association of saintly personalities as a result. By continuously performing bhajan and the association of sadhus, one will dive deep into Krishna prem. To be engrossed in prem is a matter of supreme joy. Navadvipe ratila jarmati shepai vrajavasa aprakrita dham Gaura hari nam kevala sadhura asha. One whose heart is attached to Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma will attain residence in Vraj. To chant Shri Gaurahari's name while staying in the transcendental holy abode of Śrī Navadvīpa is the sadhu's only desire. The 7 sages arrive in Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma. Pitri upadesh bhuji avishesh saptarishi asitabe Hari boli nache Gaura prema jache Gai guna ucharabe. The 7 sages thoroughly understood their father's instruction and came to this place. They chanted Hari's name, danced, and sang of the glories of Shri Gaurahari, praying for the attainment of prem. The prayer of the 7 sages. Bole Gaurahari, Anugraha kori dekha dao ekabara. Nana dharma sadhi hoinu aparadhi bhakti ebe sara. As they chanted, they began to pray, O Gaur Hari, please have mercy on us by finally giving us your darshan just once. We have followed many varieties of religious paths and thereby committed offenses. But now we have made bhakti the sole aim and object of our lives. Bhakti nishta kori bhaji gora hari rishi gana kore tapa. Kichu nahi khai nidra nahi jai gora nama kore japa. In this way, the sages underwent austerities and worshipped Śrī Gaur Hari with exclusive faith and bhakti. They completely gave up eating and sleeping and just chanted his name. The 7 sages attained the audience of Panchatattva. Madhyana sai Gaura dayamoy dekha dilo rishi gane. Shatta surya prabha yogi mano lobha shuddha pancha tattvasane. One day at noon, the supremely compassionate Śrī Gaur Hari appeared with the rest of the Panchatattva and gave his darshan to the sages. The Lord's divine body was glowing like a hundred suns shining together. This form of his attracted even the minds of the yogis. Description of Sriman Mahaprabhu's divine form. Oops. I don't know why I said roop, that's so interesting. Oh, probably I saw that. Ki bashe rupa ati aparupa suvarna sundara murti gale vana mala dik kore ala tahe abharana spurti. How astonishing was Sriman Mahaprabhu's beautiful golden form. Around his neck he wore a garland of forest flowers. The rays shining forth from his ornaments illuminated the 10 directions. Chahani sundar chikura chanchar chandanera bindu bhale trikachavasan sutra shushobhan shobhitama malikamale. Sriman Mahaprabhu's glance was most beautiful, and his hair was long and curly. A spot of sandalwood pulp decorated his forehead. He wore a dhoti folded in 3 places, and his chest was beautifully adorned with a thread. A garland of malika flowers dangled gracefully from his neck. The 7 sages' prayer at Sriman Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Sherupa dekhiya mohita hoiya sabe kore nivedana tomara charan loinu sharana deho pade bhakti-dana. They were all enchanted upon seeing Sriman Mahaprabhu's form and requested him thus: O Lord, we have now taken shelter at your lotus feet. Mercifully grant us the wealth of bhakti. Sriman Mahaprabhu instructs the 7 sages. Shuni Gaura Hari bole daya kori shuno ohe rishigana chari abhilash Jnana karma pash karo Krishna alochana. Śrī Gaur Hari heard their prayer and kindly replied, Please listen, O sages. Abandon all other desires except one, service to Śrī Krishna. Throw off the shackles of Jnana and karma and only cultivate devotion to Śrī Krishna. Sriman Mahaprabhu's blessing to the 7 sages. Swalpa dinantare Nadiya Nagare hoibe prakatalila. Tumi sabe tabe darshana koribe nama Sankirtana khela. Within a short time, I will unfold pastimes in Nadia. At that time, all of you will be able to behold my pastimes of chanting the holy names of the Lord. Ekata ekon rakho gopan amara vachana dharo. Shri Kumara hate nijakrita ghate Krishnera bhajana koro. For now, I order you, however, to keep all of these topics confidential. Go to Shri Kumar Hatta and worship Shri Krishna at the ghats you have constructed. So now we are at Shri Kumar Hatta. Gora adarshane saptarshi thakane Kumara hate jai e sthane ekhon koro darashan saptatila shobha pai. After Shri Gaur Hari disappeared from their vision, the 7 sages went to Shri Kumar Hatta. Shri Kumar Hatta. Look, even now these 7 beautiful hillocks stand as testimony to their worship. Saptarshi akashe jemato prakashe saptatila tarasama hetavasa kori paya gora hari nasadhini amajama. These 7 hillocks appeared just like the constellation of the 7 sages in the sky. Just by living here, one can attain Shri Gaur Hari without following any rules and regulations. Naimisharanya. Ihara dakshine dekho ho nayane ache eka jaladhara. Is it actually Jaladhar? That's so interesting. Eto gomati supavitra ati naimishaka nanayara. O Jiva, the river you see flowing in the southern direction is the supremely sacred Gomati. Close by is Naimisharanya. Pura kalpe kali hoile mahabali Shonakadi Rishigana Sutera Shrimuke Shune Sabhe Suke Gora Bhagavata Dhana. In the Kali Yuga of the previous Kalpa, when the influence of Kali became excessive, Shonak and other sages joyfully heard the Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Gosvāmī. The Gaur Bhagavat. What is that? The Gaur Bhagavat, the explanation of Śrīmad Bhagavatam related to the glories of Shri Gaur. That is, Śrīmad Bhagavatam according to the philosophy of Shri Gaur Hari. The result of staying in Naimisharanya during Kartik. Heta je jan Purana Pathan Koroi Kartika Mase Sarva Klesha Tyaje Gora Range Maje Brajalabhe Anayase. All the miseries of that person who studies the Puranas in this place during the month of Kartik are vanquished. He becomes absorbed in Shri Gaur Hari's pastimes and easily attains Vraj. Lord Shiva arrives in Naimisharanya. Kabu Panchanana Chari Vrishasana Shri Hangsavahana Hoye Shunilo Puran Gora Gunagan apana bhakata loye. One second, let me just fix this really quick. Wait. One second. Oh, there's only one instance. Okay. Whatever. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Once Panchanana, Lord Shiva, came here with his devotees, riding on Lord Brahma's swan carrier, having given up his own carrier, Nandi, the bull. He heard Sri Gaurhari's pastimes recited just as they are described in the Puranas. Gaya, Gaya, Nachiya, Nachiya, Shaiva Jataka Shivasi, Panchanane Gheri, Boli Gora Hari, Pushpa Phile Rashi Rashi. The followers of Lord Shiva from Kashi surrounded Panchanana. They continuously sang Sri Gaurhari's name, danced and showered flowers on Lord Shiva. Shri Jiva experiences the influence of the Dham. Nitai vachan shuniyatha kon jivera utale bhava gada gadi jai daraya na pai ashvadid dhama prabhava. Upon hearing these words of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Ashtas Bhav arose in the heart of Shri Jiva, and he began rolling in the dust of that place. Relishing the influence of that holy place, he was not able to maintain his composure. Shedina Japan Kore Bhakta Gan Nitai Chande Rasane Paradina Sabe Chalilena Tabe. Oops, sorry. Shri Pushkara Darashane. The devotees spent that day there together with Shri Nitai Chand. The next day, they all proceeded onward for darshan of Shri Pushkar. The author prays for his desired service. Jana Vanitai Bhajana Sadai Jahar Antare Jage Nadiya Mahima Bhakta Madhurima Gaiche Se Janage. That person, Sri Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, in whose hearts the worship of Sri Janava Devi and Sri Nityananda Prabhu is always manifest, is singing the glories of Sri Nadia and the sweetness of the devotees, being full of affection. Thus ends chapter 9. So now we will begin chapter 10. But I'm just curious who all is here. Who else joined? Oh, there's Arseshwari Mataji, Harivom, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, and Champak Didi. Dandavat pranams to all of you. Today's reading is short. Yesterday we read 48 pages, I think, and today we're only reading 30 pages. So we'll finish, I think, early today, at least on time. Chapter 10, Mangalacharan, Auspicious Invocation. How should we sing this? I'm going to sing this in the Gauranga Balite Habe melody. Jaya Gaura Nityananda Yadita Sahita Jai Gaura Jai Gadadhara Jai Shivasa Pandita. All glories to Shri Gaur Hari, along with Shri Nityananda Prabhu and Shri Advaita Acharya. All glories to Gadadhar Pandit. All glories to Shivas Pandit. Jaya Navadvīpa-Shuddha Prema Bhakti Dham. Jai Jai Jaya Gaura Nityananda Nam. All glories to Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma, the embodiment of pure Prem Bhakti. All glories to the names of Shri Gaur and Shri Prabhu. The author's appeal. Actually, I'm going to do different melody. I'm going to do Shuno he kalira jiva chari jnana karma Nitai chaitanya bhaja tyaji dharma dharma Dayara samudra se gora nityananda Akatare dibe bhai sar brajananda. O souls of Kali Yuga, please listen. Give up karma, gyan, dharma, adharma, everything, and only perform bhajan of Śrī Nityananda Prabhu and Śrī Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. O brothers, the ocean of mercy, Śrī Gaur Nityananda Prabhu, seeing your endeavor, will freely, without doubt, bestow upon you the bliss of Vraj. Jamini prabhata hoilo nindarai, jivere loya dham, brahmanete jai. When the morning arrived, Śrī Nityananda Prabhu took Śrī Jiva with him, and they continued their dham parikrama. Śrī Brahman Pushkar. Bole dekho jiva e grama manohar, ekono brahman, ekono brahmana pura, dake sarva nara, brahmana pushkara nam, sarva shastre koi. Heta je rahasyataha ati guhya hoy. Is that proper spelling? Anyways, I'll check it later. Okay. You know what I should start doing? I'm gonna... Where is it? Okay, I'm back. Just getting this, my Navadvīpa-dhāma-māhātmya. There's Parikramā-khaṇḍa, and now... Okay. Oh, interesting. This book is... There it is. I got it now. Sorry guys for the delay. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm just gonna hold the version up next to me so that whenever I have a doubt. Oh, but it's not numbered. That is so frustrating. Alright, never mind. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu said, "O Jiva, look at this delightful village. Even though currently everyone calls it Brahmanapur, according to the scriptures, its name is Brahman Pushkar. The secret of this place is most confidential." I'm just going to put a dot under it. And I'll check it later. Okay. The story of a Brahman pilgrim named Divadas. Satyajuge Divadasa namete Brahman griha tyaji kore sarva tirtha darashan. In Satyayuga, a Brahman named Divadas renounced his home and went on a pilgrimage to all the holy places. Divadas arrives in Navadvīpa. Pushkara tirte te tar hoilo boro prita tatapi brahmite Navadvīpa upastita. Even though Pushkar Tirtha was very dear to him, while wandering one day, he arrived in Navadvīpa Dham. A description of Divadasa's dream. Estane ratra yoge dekhilo swapan hetavasa koro vipra pabenitya dhan. In this very place, he had a dream one night in which someone told him, "O Vipra, O Brahman, reside here and you will attain the eternal treasure, Krishna Prem." Divadasa's desire in old age. Estane kutira bandhiya Divadas vriddha kala vidite ho korilena vas vriddha kale chalite ashakta dvijar. One second, I'm just changing this to... Hey. What the heck? What the heck? Actually, I think I have a keyboard shortcut for this. Let me try it. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Vriddha kale chalite asakta dijavar. Icha hoilo ebe ami dekibo pushkar. Divadas built a hut and stayed here until his old age. In his old age, when he could not walk anymore, a strong desire to behold Pushkar came in his mind. Divadas laments not being able to walk. Chalite na pare dija koroya krandan, ar na paibo ami Pushkar dharashan. Being unable to move, the Brahman began to lament. Alas, alas, now I will not be able to see the holy abode of Pushkar. Pushkar Tirtha assumes the form of a Brahman. Tokona para raja sadaya hoilo, tijarupe divadase darshana dilo. Seeing him lamenting, Pushkar Raj, out of mercy, came before Divadas in the form of a Brahman. Pushkar Tirtha in the attire of a Brahman advises Divadas. Divadase bole vipra na koro krandan, tomara sammukhe e kunda shushobhan, e kunde snana tumi koro ekabar, pratyaksha hoibe tirtha pushkara tomar. The Brahman said to Divadas, do not cry, bathe one time in the delightful pond in front of you, and Pushkar Tirtha will manifest directly before you. Divadas attains the darshan of Pushkar Tirtha in Navadvip. Tahashuni kunde snana kore dijavar, divya chakshu labi deke samuke Pushkar. After hearing his words, the Brahman's words, Divadas bathed once, and as a result, he received transcendental eyes by which he could behold Pushkar Tirtha. Isn't it obvious that it's the Brahman's words? It's not like Divadas heard his own words. I am going to delete it and I will highlight it. Krandana koriya dija Pushkare bolilo, amalagi boro klesha tomara hoilo. Divadas wept continuously. He said to Pushkar Tirtha, for my sake, you had to take such great trouble. Pushkar Tirtha describes the glories of Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma. Pushkar bolen, Pushkara boleno shuna, tija bhagwan, dura hoite na asino, heta vidyaman. Pushkar replied, listen, O fortunate Brahman, I have not come from afar. I always reside right here in this place. E Navadvīpa-dhāma sarvatirthamoy, Navadvipe se viheta thake tirtha chai. This Navadvīpa-dhāma consists of all holy places. All the holy places reside here to serve Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma. The true form of Pushkar Tirtha is in Śrī Navadvīpa. Amara sarupa eka pashchate prakash, nije ami e sthane nitya korivas. Although a manifestation of my form is in the West, I personally reside at this place eternally. West here refers to Pushkar in Rajasthan, West India. Shatabara ke hoshe tirte korisan, jay phala pai heta se phala vidhan. The benefit one derives by bathing 100 times in the Pushkar Tirtha, that is situated in the West, is achieved here by bathing just once. that the person who leaves Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma desiring to visit other holy places is a complete fool. Oh, I memorized this verse. Ataiva Navadvipa chari je jan, anya tirtha asha kore she mura durjan. Therefore, whoever leaves Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma with the desire to visit any other holy place is an foolish villain. The result of visiting all the holy places. Sarva tirtha brahmi jadi hoy falodoi, Navadvipa tabe tare vasastana hoy. If someone attains the result of traveling to all other holy places, he attains residence in Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma, Kurukshetra and Brahmavarta and Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma. Oy dekho uchastan hatera saman, Kurukshetra Brahmavarta tatta vidyaman. Just see that raised area which resembles a market. Kurukshetra and Brahmavarta are present there. Sarasati drishadvati dui parshvetar ati shobha pai punya koroye vis. The rivers Saraswati and Drishadvati flow on its two sides. They are beautiful and give the results of piety. Sorry guys. Pushkar Tirtha tells about the future descent of Sriman Mahaprabhu. O he vipra gura khata boli botomai, ati alpa kale habe ananda he tai. O Vipra, I am revealing to you a very confidential topic. Soon, supreme happiness will manifest here. Maya pure shachi grihe gauranga sundar, prakata hoya prema bilabe vistar. Shri Gaur-sundar will appear at Mayapur in the house of Mother Shachi, and he will freely distribute Krishna Prem amongst ordinary folk. E Shabastane Prabhu Bhakta Vrindaloye, Sankirtana Senachi Benamatta Hoye. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, intoxicated in Sankirtan Ras, will dance in all these places together with his devotees. Sarva avatare chila jai jai bhaktagan, shakale loya Prabhu koribe kirtan. Mahaprabhu will perform Sankirtan together with his devoted associates from all of his incarnations. Prema vanya jale sarva jagata bhasabe, kutarkika bina sabe mahaprema pabe. The whole universe will be drowned in a flood of prem. All except those who indulge in false logic will receive this Mahaprem. E dhama nishta kori jeba koreas, tare mile gora pada ohe diva das. O Das, whoever resides with firm faith in this dham will attain the lotus feet of Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. The topmost means achieve Shri Radha Krishna. Koti koti varsha dhori Shri Krishna bhajan, Tatapi namete rati na paye durjan, Gauranga bhajile dushta bhava dure jai, Alpadine braja dhame Radha Krishna pai. A rogue will not be able to develop taste for Sri Harinam, even if he worships Sri Krishna for millions of years. But if he worships Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his wicked mentality will quickly vanish, and very soon he will attain Sri Radha Krishna in Vrajadham. Nija siddha deha pai, sakira ashray, Nija kunja Shri Jugala sevatar hoy. That person will attain his spiritual form and the shelter of the maidens of Vraj. He will receive the qualification to serve the divine couple in the forest bowers. Pushkar Tirtha gives Divadas a boon. Wow, that's a pretty high. Mm. Ohe viprahita thaki koroho bhajan saparshade Shri Gauranga pave darashan. O Vipra, stay here and perform bhajan, and you will attain darshan of Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu with his associates. E kata bole tirtha gelo chali, shunilo akashavani aise dhanya kali. Tumi viprashe kale janmibe abar, Shri Gaura kirtana preme dibeta santar. Saying this, Tirtharaj Pushkar departed, but the Brahman heard an aerial voice. Very soon, the blessed age of Kali is coming. O Vipra, at that time, you will again take birth and become immersed in the prem-like ras of Shri Gaura's kirtan. Eto shuni divadasa nischinta hoilo, e kunda tire bosi bhajana korilo. Shri Uchahata, Kurukshetra. Esa Purana Kata Shri Jive Kahiya Uchahata Kurukshetre Praveshilogiya. After narrating to Shri Jiva all these histories from the Puranas, Shri Nityananda Prabhu entered Uchahata, which is actually Kurukshetra. The demigods and Kurukshetra's arrival in Shri Uchahata. I think here, according to Chicago Manual of Style, you delete this apostrophe. But I'm just curious because there's an S there, but I'm pretty sure. If they're sharing something, then the second thing gets possession. If they both have individual things, then they both get apostrophe, or whatever, possessive. I'll send that to Vaijanti Mala. Okay. Nityananda bole hita sarva deva gan Kurukshetre tirtha saho koilo agaman. Shri Nityananda Prabhu said, all the demigods came here along with Kurukshetra Tirtha. All the tirthas situated within Brahmavarta and Shri Kurukshetra arrive in Shri Uchahata. Brahmavarte Kurukshetre Jata Tirtha Chilo Sarva Tirtha Asiheta Viraja Koril. All the holy places that are in Brahmavarta, and Kurukshetra came to reside here. Pritudaka Adi Kori Sabaheta Boise Śrī Navadvīpa-seva Kore Anayase. Pritudak and all other holy places reside here, and at ease serve Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma, the result of staying in Shri Uchahata for one night. Shatavarsha Kurukshetre Vase Je Phal Heta Ekaratra Vase Labise Shakal. The result one gets by residing in Kurukshetra for 100 years is obtained by staying here for only one night. The reason behind the name Shri Uchahata. Prabhu bole heta vas kori devagan, hata kori gaurakata kore alochan. Shri Nityananda Prabhu said, demigods came to reside here. They built a raised platform nearby and discussed with each other topics related to Shri Gaur. Another name of Shri Uchahata is Hatadanga. Hatadanga boli naam hoilo ihara darshane pai prema paravar. From that time on, this place became known as Hatha-danga. A person who has a darshan of this place will attain unlimited prem. There's a footnote here for Hatha-danga. What is it? Hatha means a market. That is a place where the trading of hearing and speaking Shri Gaur Katha always goes on. Ekasima jiva diyar, ebe chalo jai mora, bhagirati par. Is it really a long A there? To check later on. This is also one of the boundaries of deep. Come, let us now cross the Bhagirati. Bhagirati par hoye madhyana samay, kola dipe nityananda hoilo udoy. After crossing the Bhagirati, Śrī Nityananda Prabhu reached Koladip around noon. It seems like the sun had just risen there. The sequence of Navadvīpa Parikrama. Kuliya pahara pure jaite jaite, Shri jive nitai chanda lagilo kohite, je krame aino mora hoye gangopar, she krama siddha krama parikrama sar. While walking along the path of Kuliya Pahar, Shri Nitai Chand said to Shri Jiva, the sequence in which we are performing Parikrama by first crossing Ganga is the authentic sequence of Parikrama. By following this sequence, one will attain the actual result of Parikrama. Sriman Mahaprabhu organizes the first Nagar Sankirtana. Jabe Prabhu Shri Chaitanya loye nijagan, Korilena Shita Madala Sankirtan. Kajire Shodite Prabhu Sandhya Agamane, Mayapura Chari Chole Loye Bhakta Jane. One day at sunset, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with the intention of delivering the Kazi, went from Mayapur with thousands of his associates in a huge Nagar Sankirtan that was accompanied by 14 mridangas. Madal, it says Madal. Madal is a certain type of mridanga that has a big, small head. Anyways. She Ratra Brahma Ratra Shigra Nahe Shesh, Ekame Mahaprabhu Brahme Nija Desh. That night became as long as one night of Lord Brahma. In this way, Sriman Mahaprabhu began to wander throughout his Navadvīpa-dhāma, his Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma. Tara para prati ekadashi thiti dhori, Brahmila amara Prabhu Sankirtana kori. Every Ekadashi after that, my Lord and the devotees went on Nagar Sankirtan, wandering throughout Navadvīpa. Kabu pancha krosha brahme antar dvipamoy, Kabu ashta krosha brahme jani mane loy. Own desire, Sriman Mahaprabhu sometimes wandered over 5 kosas of Shri Antardvip, and sometimes he wandered for 8 kosas. Nija griha hoite bara kona ghata chari. Dirghika vishtane jai Shri dharera bari, Tata hoite Antardvipa sima brahmi ase, Pancha krosha parikrama hoy anayase. When he wandered for 5 kosas, he started from his house for Barakona Ghat, then went to Bala Dirghika and to Shridar's house. From the house of Shridhar, he would go to the border of Antardvip. In this way, he easily completed the 5 kosas parikrama. Simuliya hoye kaji griha bedi chale, Dhare sambhashi aise gachastale, Majida hoite hoy Bhagirati par, Paradanga Chinadanga Pulino Vistar Chariya Janavi Para Hoyatakon Ashtakrosha Brahmichale Apana Bhavanam. For the 8 kosas parikrama, he would start from Simuliya and go to the house of the Kazi. After talking to Sridhar, he would go to Gadigacha, Godrum, and from there in Majida, Madhyadvip. Next, he would cross the Bhagirathi and visit the places called Paradanga and Chinadanga. Hey, there's 2 N's here before. He'd go to Paradanga and Chinadanga, situated on the other bank of the Ganga. Then he would come across the Ganga and return home after completing the 8 kosas parikrama. The complete parikrama. Siddha parikrama hoy purna shola krosh se parikrama koile prabhura santosh. The 16 kosas parikrama is considered to be the complete parikrama. Mahaprabhu feels satisfied after performing this parikrama. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu takes Śrī Jiva on the 16 kosas parikrama. How much is 1 kosa again? I forgot what a kosa is. Oh my god. Is it or something? She parik. What's it? Let me look. Okay, it's a measure of distance approximately 2 miles. You know, I think we should write krosha, not kosa. Kosa is a Hindi word, and it comes from the word krosha. And in the Bengali, they use the word krosha. So I'm going to change that later on. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu takes Śrī Jiva on the 16 kosas parikrama. Oh Jiva, I am taking you on that same 16 kosas parikrama. No other parikrama is considered equal to it. Vrindavana shola krosha dadasha kanan e parikrama madhe pabe darashan. By performing this parikrama, you will have darshan of the 12 forests in the area of Vrindavan's 16 kosas. The description of Navaratra in the scriptures. Navaratre e parikrama Navaratre e parikrama shesha hoy Navaratra boli era nama shastre koi. This parikrama is completed within 9 nights and is therefore called Navaratra in the scriptures. Panchakrosha parikrama ekadina kore Ratatraya ashtakrosha Parikrama dhare. We're almost finished. The parikrama of 5 kosas is completed in 1 day, and the 8 kosas parikrama in 3 nights. Eka ratra mayapure dvitiya godrume puline tritiya ratra ekrame brahme. One should complete this parikrama by spending the first night in Mayapur, the second night in Godrum, and the third on the banks of the Ganga. I want to do parikrama like this sometime. Shuni parikrama tattva jiva mahashai premete adharya hoye koto khana roy. Hearing about the real nature of parikrama, Śrī Jiva Mahashai became absorbed in prema for a long time. The author prays for his desired service. Nitai janava pada chaya ashajar Nadia mahima varne akinchana char. Desiring to attain the cooling shade of Śrī Nityananda Prabhu's and Śrī Janava Devi's lotus feet, this destitute and lowly person, Śrī Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, describes the glories of Nadia. Thus ends chapter 10. Jai Ho, Jai Shri Madhyadvip ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribol, Haribol, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribol. Jai Shishi, Tandavat pronouns Bruce easy. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmar Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudev Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmar Bhaktivedānta Vāman Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmar Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmar Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishta Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Nitil Pavishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadas Raghunath Shad Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sarva Abhishtabhadata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma-māhātmya ki jai. Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki jai. Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma ki jai. Śrī Antardīp Mayapur, Samantadīp, Godrumadīp, Madhyadīp, Koladīp, Ritudīp, Janudīp, Modadrumadīp, Śrī Rudra Dīpātmika, Śrī Navadvīpa-dhāma ki jai. Navadvīpa-dhāma Parikramā ki jai. Śrī Madhyadīp ki jai. Śrī Harinam Sankirtana, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Oh, Shri Jiva Goswami Pad ki jai. Sriman Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Vas Pandit ki jai. Saparshad Shri Gaur Hari ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams everybody. This is how much we have left. So we're past the halfway point, as you can see. Actually, yesterday we passed the halfway point. But yeah, not way too much left. Well, we should finish it within the next few days. Dandavat pranams everybody. Thank you for joining me, and see you all tomorrow. What are we reading tomorrow? Let me just check really quick. Tomorrow we will be reading about Panchaveni and Koliya Pahad, Koladip. That's where I am right now. I'm in Koladip, the place where Hiranyaksha was killed. In Navadip, the order of Raja's 12 forests is inversed. And then Sri Samudragar. Within Sri Samudragar, there's a story of explaining how Dwarkapuri is situated in Sri Samudragar, and also the presence of Gangasagar in Sri Samudragar. And then we will go to Champak Hatta, the place of Dvijavaninath. All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. And okay, Hari Priya Didi. Cool. I'm happy that you're following along with this whole thing. Even when you miss it live, you're still keeping up. All right, Hari Bol. Oh, wait, Pradyumna Prabhu has some questions. Any PDF of how to pronounce Bengali? Well, at the end of the Gaudiya Giti Gucha, there's a pronunciation guide, which gives a more detailed explanation how to pronounce all the Bengali words. Otherwise, there's what I did. I did a book called Teach Yourself Bengali by William Radice, and I went through the whole pronunciation section of that. I don't think so, Pradyumna Prabhu. I think it's fine, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it's okay. All right. See you all tomorrow. Hari Bol.